Good morning everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Stu.
I'm Sarah and welcome to the 350 bird challenge.
We only need a handful of birds, the end is in sight. Can we complete the challenge in this video? Stay tuned to find out. Morning everyone, this morning we are at McLaughlin Bay. There's been a few reports of different birds here that we still need. Sarah, do you want to tell us about some of those birds?
So in the warblers we still need northern parula and black-throated blue, which have been seen here. There's also been reports of Philadelphia vireo, grey-cheeked thrush. There were reports of a rare western bird, but not lately.
We have a marsh behind us, it's nice and misty over there. A few birds hanging out, it seems quite birdy this morning. Let's take a quick look. McLaughlin Bay Marsh was looking pretty this morning, carpeted with a light mist, providing idyllic views of ducks, swans, herons, and an osprey that passed through. And a belted kingfisher on its fishing perch. But actually, a tree just behind us sported a bird that Sarah mentioned in the intro that we still need, northern parula. It's a relatively plain-looking example of the species, probably an immature female. Now this is prime season to see shorebirds, so we made our way along the trails towards Lake Ontario. On the beach, we headed to a spot where shorebirds tend to congregate. We've already seen lots of shorebirds this year, but a handful remain. Purple sandpiper, white-rumped sandpiper, buff-breasted sandpiper, whimbrel. As we head to the shorebird spot, let's just remind less local viewers of where we are. McLaughlin Bay Wildlife Preserve is along the lake shore of Lake Ontario, and there's a few trails here through woodland, meadow, marsh, and the beach itself. And it was along the beach that we immediately got good views of black-bellied plovers, 3 of them in non-breeding plumage. They're heading south for the winter to spend time along warmer sea coasts. These particular 3 might not be going too much further. Here, they overwinter further north than your typical plover species, from about Massachusetts at their northern winter range. Black-bellied plovers look for movement when they're foraging, so in this slow motion footage you can see them take a pause and then dunk and then pause again. And we have another little shorebird here, a least sandpiper, appropriate name for the smallest shorebird on Earth. It weighs about the same as a AA battery, 20 odd grams, but its lightweight and large toes let it tread neatly on muds and other sinking surfaces to grab at small insects. That was it for shorebirds today, but wait a second. We're just briefly interrupting this video. It's a week later, we're back at McLaughlin Bay. I didn't want to do a whole new video at the same place, but white-rumped sandpiper was reported here, and I actually saw it a couple of days ago after work. Sarah hasn't seen it though, so we can't count it. I'm hoping it's still going to be there today. We're going to head back and take a look. So yes, we've fast-forwarded a few days to another visit to the same spot to pick up white-rumped sandpiper. A lifer for Sarah and I. We both saw it, but to be honest, my footage from the previous day was a little bit better, so we'll look at that instead. In non-breeding plumage, white-rumped is a tough species to identify versus Baird's sandpiper. A touch more speckling of darker plumage on the flanks on the white-rumped, but hard to see that in this light. Can you guess the difference between the 2 species? The clue is in the name. The white-rumped sandpiper has a white rump. It's usually hidden from view though. You know, normally we spend all day waiting for birds to come to us, but today we wanted this white rump to fly away so he could take a look at its backside, but it didn't. Fortunately though, it did stop and preen for a moment, briefly lifting up its wing high enough to reveal a flash of white rump, and to reveal that we now only need 2 more birds to reach our 350 challenge for the year. Let's go back a few days to where Sarah and I originally started off at McLaughlin Bay. We left the lake and south side of the marsh, and on the way, the plants along the lakeshore were filled with yellow-rumped warblers, making the most of the last remaining flying insects of the year as we stumble ever closer to, dare I say it, winter. Not too much in the woods except some hermit and Swainson's thrushes. Joined by our friends Jason and Spring, we kept moving towards some small marsh areas. We have seen hundreds, if not maybe 1,000 or so blue jays this morning, very agitated, pretty typical at this time of the year. They're deciding whether they're going to migrate south or not. They kind of kettle when they hit large bodies of water, in this case Lake Ontario, kind of deciding whether they're going to fly over or not, waiting for optimal conditions, flying in flocks, a lot more tolerant of each other than they would normally be. If you see them on your feeder, quite often they'll get into squabbles, but right now, strength in numbers as they think about heading south to warmer climes where there's more food and resources for them in the winter. Many blue jays will overwinter in Canada, and that's why you'll see them at your feeder even when there's ice and snow around. Blue jay migration isn't fully understood, but a 1982 study suggests that around 20% of the population migrates south. But it probably depends on a number of factors like the natural food supply of nuts and berries. In Ontario, this large-scale blue jay migration takes place towards the end of September into October. On our website, we have a nature calendar that lists all kinds of things to look out for in Ontario, week by week throughout the whole year, like when blue jays start to fly over in large numbers. Every week of the year has 1 or 2 entries for stuff that is happening outdoors. Great for families, kids, or people that just want to find a bit of inspiration to get outdoors even in the winter. You can find it at BritHikesOntario.com/calendar. The Dogwood Trail circles a small pond. A few mallards, wood ducks, and green-winged teal milling around. A little awkward through the grasses, but the iridescence shone nicely from the green-winged teal's speculum. Okay guys, not very much going on here, so I think we have to call it a day, but we did get 1 new bird. We are so close, but you're going to have to tune in for at least another video to see if we can complete this challenge before the end of the year. Thank you all very much for watching. Please hit the like button. Please leave us a comment. A lot of loyal viewers do that. Quick shout out to Luke Forst, who recently joined our membership program. Really appreciate his support and everyone else that has been a member. Sarah, one more thing.
If you haven't already, please subscribe, and after subscribing, select the bell for notifications of new videos.
Thanks guys, we'll see you again pretty soon. Happy birding, and bye for now.
Bye.